Good morning and welcome to another episode of RoadFS Detail Memoirs. We're shaking things up a little bit this morning. I am Rod Puzey.
And I am, as you know, Jody Sedrick, the man, the myth, the wannabe legend. And we are super excited because 2022, if you haven't noticed, has taken us by storm. And the lady that had the most impact, in my opinion, kicking off 2022 is Marcy Tran. She is our guest. Her and Alex had this vision of creating the online detailers summit, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. So I had to get her on so we could talk about it. So welcome, Marcy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you guys for inviting me on.
Yeah, no, you just kudos. So let's go back to the genesis, the idea of creating this virtual experience for detailers. And how did you come up with it? And what was your vision?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I think the genesis of it was probably right when COVID broke out. And that's probably the last time I got to be on RoadFS. You slow down for a minute. And I got to thinking, like, I want to do something extra, maybe in the digital world. But, like, what am I like superbly excellent at? And I couldn't come up with anything in the detailing world. Like, I'm not the best buffer. I don't have the most knowledge of products. I'm at the time, I think I was just starting PPF. I was not the best. So I was like, wow, I don't know what to offer. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I thought at that time that, but I'm a really good organizer. Yeah. If you spoke to Cynthia, my assistant who helped put this on, she was the organizing gel. What I really am good at is, turns out, like, talking to people and pulling out the extra information, like boiling it or distilling it down to what a new detailer or a detailer who just hasn't figured something out is. I really enjoyed connecting with the experts that were so generous to be on the summit. So yeah, that's where it started. Question?
So when you basically just kind of did this on your own. I mean, it was something you put together, excuse me, and you asked all these people to be on it. And I'm quite honestly, I was shocked at how popular it was. It blew me away.
It was huge.
It was huge. How many people saw it? And I think it was just the timing is right. A few years ago, they've tried some, prior to COVID, like you said, they tried some virtual events and they didn't work as well. But I think the last 2 years have given us the opportunity to understand, and for some people that weren't into technology, to see the value of it and what you could do. So were you surprised, shocked, or did it meet your expectations?
Well, my as far as creating it, like I could talk about so many different aspects, like what were we serving, but as far as that part and creating it, I'm kind of over here in my own little bubble. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so we did send out like what information, like what did you like about it, but you know how that goes. Amazon asks you, what did you think of it? What like give feedback on something, and what 5% actually respond. So when you guys tell me that it's success, not like the first time I'm hearing it, but I didn't know it. I'm just over here cranking away, making sure websites stay up, making sure emails go out on time. So I don't even think I really put my finger on the pulse of what we did. Now I knew what I wanted to create, and what that was is, like, I really enjoy listening to different detailing popular people, and I extract from each one the things I like. I love Ivan's efficiency. I love another detailer's sales approach. I love another detailer's how they get on YouTube and then they just teach you and you can feel them coming across and they make it really simple. And, like, what if we took them all together? Because how much free time do we have? Like, honestly, time is our most precious commodity. Yeah. And so to be able to, like, have an intense, and maybe, it was all learning, right? I attend summits regularly on different topics. Mm-hmm. And this is the form. And so first, anybody who's listening, let me just say, the way a summit works is you're going to have the best of the best coming straight to you in your email box. Now, there's a catch. You have 24 hours to watch it. And if you do that, you get it for completely free. And I've done them, or I've attended them so many times, and sometimes they're like, oh, that just changed my world. That just changed my outlook. I want to hear that again. And by the end, I am happy to upgrade so that I can keep listening to it and sharpening myself up. So I kept mine up for about 48 hours because I had some different tech issues, and I just wanted everybody to make sure they really got a chance. And this is the first time detailers have even, like, I could totally get that summits did not exist in our realm before, because people kept calling it a podcast or saying, like, what happened? It's down after 24 hours, but remember I had it up for 48. But we had it on all the emails. You got 24 hours to watch it. So that's the format of a summit. And the idea is, I did not know how many detailers would play. Like, I straight up, when I invited you, I sent you an email. Will you play with me? I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be engaging. Just if you pull my string on a topic, like, my favorite topic is accounting, investing, budgeting, saving. And I know, like, some of you guys just, like, went into a coma and fell over. So you gotta present whatever your thing that you're really into in an exciting, engaging way. And so that's what I wanted, so that we could really receive it and use it and up level.
Well, I think the format was, one, it was obviously very unique, but I like the way that you made it exclusive for a time, because it puts an urgency on the content, because we all get so busy in our business and we're like, oh, I'll read that book, or I'll listen to that podcast, or I'll go to this event. And inevitably we get so busy in our business that it gets pushed back and back and back. Right. And so I love that it had an urgency to it. I also love the different perspectives of all the people that you had there. DJ Patterson, Rennie Doyle, Jennifer Turcott. It just, there were so many people there, and even some people that I hadn't known. And so to be able to hear their story and their perspective, it was great, because I think a lot of times we live in a bubble, right? And we have this circle of industry associates, friends, but we don't realize that there are other people having a real impact. And you did a really good job of bringing other people that I don't think everybody had been exposed to. And so it brought new perspective that people could then glean for their business. I also, I like that. And so I have a question, it's a leading question. Because you put a limit on it for 48 hours, what about all those people that missed it and now they're hearing about it? Is there a way that they can tap in and discover what they missed?
Yeah, absolutely. The way that you can still get access to it is on the website. It exists. It did not like, evaporate. The website is detailacademy.com, and if you do /shop, right there you have access, and I have different levels of it. So I made one that's currently, I wanted to make it so dirt cheap that you couldn't make an excuse why not to purchase it. And what's funny is, like, even friends of mine have purchased it, and they said it's the funniest thing. The cheapest one is $49. That's going to give you the audio, so you can be working, buffing, whatever, while you're listening to it, just like you do audiobooks. But one of my friends said that stopped and hesitated, like, am I really going to buy this? Isn't that ironic that we would drop $50 on a meal like that? No thought. But the moment it comes to something that could have a powerful impact on us, we freeze. Buffer, whatever, put it in the Amazon cart, click, I'm done. A book, it's just these kind of things that really make a difference in us, that we don't necessarily do it. If I can I talk about some of the themes that came up? We had 24 different speakers on there. And again and again, some common themes kept popping up. So we're talking summit. But if you haven't attended it, you're like, what the heck is a summit and why should I care?
Right.
But common themes, was a CRM, a customer relation manager. You guys tell me, is that what it stands
Yeah,
for?
customer relation management.
Management. Okay. And so we had 3 different representatives or people who actually have CRM that exist and they can offer. Those weren't the ones who were talking about it. It was everybody else.
Yep.
You want to have a strong business and one that makes your life easier and one that down the road when you sell it, you've got a viable product to sell that sells for more than everybody else's. You need a CRM. You need to have a way to easily, effortlessly track your customers, communicate with them, send them reminders when you're not even thinking about it.
Yep.
That came up from so many, and it makes your life easier. And you guys were one of the representatives. So plug to y'all. And all of them was so cool. You know what I would love to see you guys come up with? A little, and I don't know if you want to do this, but this is just from our perspective. A little chart. Okay, I jump all over the place. What is the word? Only 10% of detailers have a CRM. No, 5%. And then when you go to mobile tech or events where we actually paid money to come and learn, still only like 50% of the audience is using one. That's outrageous. So all of that is your untapped market. But how do we know what are the unique things of each of you has a what's the unique things of RoadFS versus your Able versus Detailed Bookie versus I saw another one here, I don't even know what it's called. And so that way we could look at it and go, oh, that is the problem I want to solve. That, you know,
that in our world, that is probably the most frequently asked question when we're at a show. Somebody will say, well, what makes you different than them and what makes them different than you? And the problem we run into is that that's really hard to explain when we get up in front of an audience, which I'm blown away. The industry has changed so much over the years, but we had we had all 4 of us up in front of everybody at MTE, and the room was packed. And 10 years ago, that room would have been empty. We would have been in there listening to crickets. But people ask, what's the difference? The point with our CRMs is just like in the detailing world. If you have a new polisher and you get it and you start using it and you have a new technique and a new pad and a new compound that makes your life easier, tomorrow everybody's going to have it. So if somebody asks me, what do you have? Tomorrow, your Able's going to have it, and Detail Bookie, and Mobile Tech RX, and AMT, and everybody in the world is going to have that as soon as they can. And that's the only way we all stay doing what we're doing is we have to constantly step it up every single time.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've seen those lists before, right?
Yeah.
And I've watched the list and I'm like, no, we have that. No, we have that. Right. Because they become they can become outdated so quickly. So for example, an internet year in development is 10 weeks.
What?
An internet year is 10 weeks. Right. That is how fast development is changing. So like, for example, with RoadFS, people came to us and said a year ago, do you have email and text notifications? Well, we didn't have it at the time. Within 2 months, we had it, right? Wow. We integrate with QuickBooks Desktop and online we have other integrations, right? And other people have other integrations. And so it's moving so fast. And if you could see our whiteboard, the list of things to come would overwhelm you, right? And so every week, and I'm sure the other providers do the same thing. They're looking at, all right, what is the highest demanded feature that we don't have? Let's put our energies there. Yep. Right. And so it is a continually moving game. And so when customers come to us, they're like, look, I've talked to these guys, I've talked to those guys. How are you different? I always say, I don't know.
Yep.
Because I don't look at their software. I listen to my customers. And so what my customers are telling me is what I'm going to develop first at the cost of maybe not having a feature that somebody else has, but I'm meeting the current needs of my customers. Because I have customers now that are like, they're like, we need this, we need this, we need that. And yes, I can hear the voice of prospective customers. But if I can better serve my existing customers, I'm going to double down on those. So it becomes a real delicate balancing act. So I'm always like, I don't know, but what problem are you trying to solve? And I'll show you how we do that.
Yeah. So I want to step back to something you said at the very beginning, and you were talking about people waiting and waiting, and you were saying that they if they see an online event, unless you make it exclusive, they don't go to it. And I think that's a real key to what you did with the summit is you made it exclusive. One of the things that we don't do, we don't give a trial period. I'm like, oh, you can use this for a year for free, because what we found is people won't do it when they have, like, just like you said, when they have ultimate time, they won't do it. 2 weeks before it ends, they come in and go, I haven't had a chance to look at your trial. I need to have longer. So what did you find yourself doing for the summit that was different, that caused that? It's scarcity. In the world of advertising, it's scarcity, right? Hurry now, there's only 15 left, even though you might sell 35. But in your case, there really was a time limit. And did you get pushback on that?
Time limit on signing up for it?
Meaning you had it on a certain day. It went live, right? So you had to sign up before then, but you didn't put a limit on when they could. But how did you create that sign up and get into the urgency
to go, you need to watch it on this day?
Well, the formula for what I did exists already. And basically, each of you speakers were the secret ingredient to getting the word out. Each of you already had your client base, and you said, hey, I'm about to speak at this event. If you'd like to hear it, plus Remy Doyle, plus Jason Otterness, plus Jimbo, plus all these folks. And so we actually only started promoting, I think, like 10 days before it went.
Wow.
And then if you guys were awesome on posting again and again on social media, and also I don't remember the first parts, but some people told me, don't be discouraged. You're going to have most of your opt-ins right before it starts. That was true. 50% of the signups happened like the day before it started.
Interesting.
So,
Yep.
It's the truth. Really will wait till the last minute. Now, this $49 deal. I mean, hello, you're getting 24 speakers. No joke. If you read my little email, it says this is over $8,000. Is that true? We did the math. Plenty of the folks already do coach and mentor. And if you wanted them for 45 minutes, this is what you pay. We tallied it up. That's what it came out to. Now, I haven't yet set what's the end date on that. And after that $49 goes away, I should up it to $199. I just really got to get my head right, because I'm thinking, who will pay for that? Who's going to invest $199 to be able to hear all this stuff? I don't know. I guess I need feedback on that.
I love that question, because I think a lot of times we, both as business owners and individuals, don't invest in ourselves. I mean, you talked about a book, right? A book costs you anywhere from 15 to 29 bucks, and somebody is giving you their years of experience in 120 pages, and you're not willing to spend $15 to $25. You're doing yourself a disservice. And I made one of the best decisions I made 2.5 years ago is I hired a personal coach. Right? Zenware doesn't pay for it. I pay for it out of my pocket. Every month I spend X dollars and I meet with the personal coach. And he's always challenging me. I mean, he's one of the reasons why I wrote my book. Right? Because I had someone going, man, you have things in you that you need to get out. You have a story to share. You have a business experience. And so you need to be more open with that. But the impetus of that was me going, you know what? I need to level up. As a co-owner in this business, I need to level up. If I'm not leveling up, how can I expect my team to level up? And it's tough, because when you start leveling up, it frustrates you that other people aren't leveling up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing on the weekend? What are you doing at night? Dude, I'm reading, I'm writing, I'm, doing investigation. I'm scrolling social media to understand what people are doing, what they're talking about. And the true measure, I think the true measure of future success is what you're doing today.
Yeah. And also I think that in your case of having this summit is, and you said it very poignantly at the beginning, you were not saying, "Hi, I'm Marcy. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know." It was, "I'm going to bring in these experts." And I think a lot of times, especially in the detailing industry, folks have a
I'm
tendency
glad
to.
that I lost my audio. I lost
You're
my
still
audio. Is
there.
it here?
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
there.
you're
You're
still
still there.
here.
All
We
right,
can
I
hear
got to
you.
get my audio back.
Okay.
Oops. All right. That's fine. We can hear you.
Yep.
And there she goes.
There you go. We'll try that again. Can you hear us? Can you hear us now? So we'll sing a song while we're waiting for
so
Marcy to
sorry.
get her audio.
Good thing
It's
we're
okay.
not live, right?
Yeah,
Wink.
exactly.
Wink, wink. I don't know
Uh-huh.
what you're talking
Well,
about.
we're not live. This is a recording.
So those of you, while we're waiting for Marcy to get on, so next week, our next week's episode, Rod and I had have the awesome opportunity to sit down with Sheldon Kay, Clint Hintz, Daryl Lyons, me and Rod to talk about the Southern Detailers Conference. It is, I'm telling you, it is going to be a phenomenal event. And so you need to go out to southerndetailersconference.com and get registered. I think the registration opens in a couple weeks for you to
It does.
actually
It
attend.
does.
But it's going to be June
4th and 5th. And you
and
need to watch next week because you hear more details. But it is a phenomenal event, and this year is the first year that the folks that put on Mobile Tech Expo Convex are kind of starting to take that on as more of their direct role. And that show is going to grow and become bigger and better and badder than it ever was.
yeah, and I
Are you
love
hearing us
hear
now?
me?
Yes.
Yes,
We
I
can.
love.
Well,
Yes,
I can't hear you at all. But
that's okay.
I
We'll
can
just
tell
wrap
you,
it up.
I can. Well, if we're going to wrap it up, you can let me know, or if I can keep going, give me a thumbs up, because
Keep
you guys
going.
were talking about great stuff, and you were actually talking about the number 2 topic that kept coming up that I wanted to mention, and that is the importance of getting a coach or a mentor. And this, plenty of the people on there are coaches, are mentors, and it feels like a huge commitment. Even like right now, I've got my eyes on who I want to interview to be my. And by the way, it's a really good idea for you to think about interviewing your coach, not just, "Hey, coach, will you take me?" And that was the purpose of the summit. If you're looking for someone who can support you, because when you have a coach, you're going to have phenomenal growth. And but we're not all the same. We don't all have the same values. Fine, they might all be good, but if yours is automatically top earning income and mine is enough earning or the maximum earning I can have while maintaining X amount of time with my family, those are 2 different things. And so you've got to find the one that aligns with what you want: integrity, service, long-term growth, all of that. And so that came through really loud and clear. Even some of the folks that already have hit $1 million and beyond marks, they have their own coaches. So don't think it's only for us and it's revealing a problem, or it's embarrassing to have to talk about it. No, you are the ultimate investment. And I'm saying all this, and I'm saying it to myself, because while I'm on the threshold of hiring the next coach, guess what? I just poured a ton of money into the summit. That little stinker, it took some funds. And so I'm recovering from that. But that being said, that's behind me now for the season. The next up is to hire the coach, and I just have to get this is the biggest part, the decision to do it right here. The money will come. And the other thing, now, when you have a coach, several people said, in order to have business success, you must have internal growth. The internal growth is where it starts. We look at it like, well, mechanically, I'm gonna price myself right, and I'm gonna advertise right, and that's gonna lead. Yeah, it will, but it also could lead to a hot mess when you haven't gotten yourself right in here. And
Yes.
so, I'm still figuring so much stuff out, but I just watch the messes that we get ourselves in because we haven't gotten some of these beliefs in here right. And I know, like, okay, we're just talking about detailing. What does internal growth have to do with that? I promise it does. I promise it does. You can tell a person every single thing, every single step. I love steps. Give me a formula and I can do it. You can give me every single step, but if I don't believe I deserve it, you can better believe I'll find a way to sabotage myself. There were things at the end of the summit that I could have done to keep serving better, and I got in my own way. Like nobody else but me. So That is so important. No, understanding that it really does start with what you're thinking, believing, and how do you get to that point? Making some time and reading more books and talking to the right folks. You know what? I didn't write here on the common themes. Almost every single one of you guys said the thing that trips us up. Am I giving away too much? I don't care.
No,
Here it is.
no.
You want to be surrounding yourself with the right people. And when you're on the Facebook groups where they're trash talking instead of upbuilding, that's hurting you. That's the opposite of internal growth. That's saying, here's my ceiling, here's my problems, here's what doesn't work. And we all agree that that's the way it is. Okay, then that's reality. That's the way it is. Customers are a problem. No, they're not. Customers are your livelihood.
Yeah.
So another common theme was phone skills. Like, who would have thought? Like, we know how to answer the phone. No, plenty of us don't. A few have figured it out. There is a real script to use. There is a protocol to use. And when you define your protocol, and I'm not talking about like getting it right or getting it wrong. Sit down and figure out your own protocol and then memorize it so you have confidence every time you answer the phone. And identify your core values or North Star or whatever you want to make it, because when you have that, then you know how to build the rest of your business. And here's what came up like really powerfully for me. This is my last point. What came up really powerfully for me was making time for your passion. I genuinely thought the key to success was, and it is, consistency and discipline. But Marcy Tran will like discipline the mess out of herself until she doesn't know, what day, literally don't know what day it is. Okay. It took so much focus on this thing. And I enjoy talking with you guys. I don't really want to do nitty gritty of checking off, creating all these spreadsheets. But by the end of the summit, several people kept coming up and saying, make time for your passion. I think you probably said it too, Jody. And I can see that you live it. You guys are always at the beach. I mean, where can you feel more alive than by water? That's it, right? And other people said it. And even with that, because it took so much work and focus, I chose to put myself on the back burner. And I crashed and burned. Between work, taking care of the family, helping to run this business, plenty of PPF jobs, and I'm the only PPF technician, running the summit, answering all the, hey, I bought my thing and I didn't get my MP3s. I was not a nice person. So as soon as we're done with this, I have my bags packed. I am getting in the car and I'm driving to Austin and I'm going to go enjoy the lake.
Awesome.
I'm going to take care of me, because when we don't take care of us, we're not there for our business. We're not there for our family. We don't even like ourselves. Hello. So that's wrapping it up as best I can without questions. I will say again, this was a test and see. I had no idea so many speakers would jump on board and support. I am like beyond thankful, grateful to everybody who did. And it proved that I also like the feeling that everybody got together and was united, like any one of you could have said like, I'm not going to play because they're on it. I don't want them to have the stage or oh, well, he's been around for this long and you bumped me. No, everybody was just like brilliant, awesome. And you know what else? On Instagram, like we all talk to each other, right? And so I have all these detailing buddies and I'm like, hey, are you going to Mobile Tech? I don't even think 10% say yes. So plenty of us want knowledge. And maybe you're not yet an IDA member. You want this information, but it doesn't fit the budget right now. It just straight up. It also happens in January when things slow down. And if you haven't planned for it, it's just out of reach. And so it's like all the speakers that you see at Mobile Tech, or a whole big chunk representation of them, I wanted to be able to bring it to you. You don't have to get in the car. You don't have to rent a hotel. You sit at your own leisure or working time and listen to the same good stuff. And here's the deal. I don't even think I'm a threat to Mobile Tech, because once you start listening and you like it, what do you want to do? Well, I want to go see Jody in person.
Yep.
Everyone keeps talking about SEMA or Mobile Tech or Southern Detailing Conference. I think it's really worth it to go. I mean, I think the two can like promote. It can just promote you to the next level. And now that I've listened in, I want to go see what it's like. Everybody knows you can listen to music or you can go to a concert. It's always better in person, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's everything in a nutshell. And since you can't ask me any questions that I can hear, I will
That's
say
okay.
that again, the website is Detailer Masters with an S Academy.com. You can sign up because let's say you like everything I said, and $49 for the time being is like still outside of your reach. I challenge you to relook at that. Put your name in. The plan is to do this again in the fall. We'll see who wants to play next go round. I'll have things more organized, and we'll do it again. And you know, feel free to email me. There's an email on the website if you're like, wow, I want more feedback. Was 10 days too long? I mean, you can jump in and out. You know what's funny is I get feedback every single direction. The interviews were too short. The interviews were too long. The time period was too short. You can't make everybody happy. But the point is, you jump in when you can. You get what you get, and you let it uplift you and up level you. And honestly, like I even got feedback like it was nothing but like a pep rally. But dude, have some fun at the pep rally and get revved up. You know.
Yeah.
So it was a joy to put it on. I think I got my most excitement talking to you guys. And I had one speaker say, if you took just the list of books and you read them in the next year, your business will be in a totally different place.
Yeah.
If you don't like reading, get yourself Audible. Get rid of the excuses. Do you like winning? Do you like your business taking good care of you? Are you committed to that? Then do what it takes.
I love it. So that's super cool. Well, as you guys can tell, you know, her energy, her passion, the things that she shared, just from her experience of putting it on, you need to go invest that $49. I mean, there are 24 speakers. They gave phenomenal information. So please go check it out. DetailersMasterAcademy.com. I'll make sure to put a link in the notes. And next week, you got to join us. Why?
Because we're going to be talking about Southern Detailers Conference and what's coming up and how awesome that event's going to be. Increased booth space by over 25 to 35%. Already about 50% booked. Phenomenal people. Again, like Marcy said, phenomenal speakers that are going to be there. And it's just getting bigger and better. And you got to go see it. Again, we always tell you, go subscribe to this channel on YouTube. And all your podcast, outlets, wherever your favorite one is, but go to YouTube and subscribe to this. It keeps us doing this and it keeps us bringing in great guests. So thank you all for watching and listening, and we will catch you next week.
Just same time, same bat channel. See ya.
Bye.
She's like,
you gotta